Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I'm here with my last thankful for you for the year of 2024. And I am going to use my Storyteller by Coco Vanilla. And not only am I going to use it, I'm going to use the end of it. And so it is one of my absolute favorite collections. So I'm going to document something important to me, and that is you all. These are from my YouTube studio. They do like a week in review, and so this is for a week back in early November. I was trying to think of the best way to bring you all into one of my thankful for yous. And so this is how I decided to do it. I have lots and lots of little baby scraps from this collection. A handful of the puffy hearts and dots. I have like 8 embellishments, a little stack of the pocket cards. I have like 2 titles on the foam, a handful of stickers, 1 single sheet of full 12 by 12 paper, and then that little stack of bigger strips of scraps back there. And so my goal is to use as much as I can of the embellishments, and of course this only last little lonely paper, and as many of the scraps as I can as well. I hope that I can get most of it used up, and I hope that it ends up okay. So I've got my papers, my embellishments, my pictures, and so let's see how this goes. So I have all these papers that are pretty similar in length. They're just a little bit different. And I decided, because I like the plussy side on the other side of this, but I really liked this wood grain. And because I was going to be using all these papers with the mix of patterns, I decided I would go ahead and put them on the wood grain. So I tear the end. I was going to tear both ends and make it in the middle. And then I decided I wanted it to come from one side. And so I just tear one side, and I'm going to attach it to the left side and have it go over towards the right. Now my pictures were printed at 4x6. I am going to trim them down a little bit because right here you're not going to see much. Once I mat those, you're not going to be able to see much of that paper in the background, which is kind of silly. So I'm going to fix that in a minute. But first I want to make a use of these little baby scraps. And you can see how small they are. I'm getting better at not saving those. But when they're collections like this that I absolutely adore and I don't have a ton of anyway, I'm really bad about keeping branding strips and little strips of paper. So this is how I'm using them. I made a full, almost 4x6 mat. And then I put my picture down, trimmed around it, and then I matted it in black so it would stand out against all that other patterned paper. Because some of the patterns I used on the mats are the same as the papers that I'm going to be putting down right here. I love this collection so much. Coco Vanilla is one of my absolute favorites. I love the quality of their product. I love the colors. I love that they have wordy bits, but not too many wordy bits. They have really lovely patterns. So here's the way that I am extending my paper, and I am really big into doing this. I do it often. I will tear my paper. I did that with the background matting, actually. If I didn't have a piece big enough to go all the way across, I just made sure it wasn't at the top or bottom and tore it. And that way you can't even tell that there's not a full strip of paper. And you won't be able to tell on here either, because I'm going to cover the area that has those gaps where the wood grain is showing through. And that way the strips look like they come a lot further over, at least those 3 in the middle. Of course, the top and bottom have to stay solid so that they, since they're not going to be completely covered, at least down the middle. So I am going to overlap my pictures. This first one says that 338 people tuned into my channel and watched videos during this specific week that I printed this from. And then the next one says people didn't just watch, they reached out, and it's got like how many likes, how many shares, and how many comments. And that just gobsmacks me. Like it blows me away, and I journal about this later on here. But when I started this channel in March of 2021, there was no way I would have believed that I would ever get this far with this many subscribers and viewers and comments and all the kind things that people say or tips that people put out there, all the different things that come across. I just am completely blown away by it all the time. I mean, I hesitated to start a channel in the first place because I was a really slow scrapper and I didn't always like how things would turn out. I didn't know how to edit. I didn't really I started by partially creating the layout and having everything laid out for me so that I could just put it together. So I like put a lot into the pre-part of building my, page. And so then, they'd be like 20, 30 minutes long. And I'm like, gosh, sometimes I don't mind watching a 20 or 30 minute long video, but typically I know most people are kind of in that 10 minutes or less ballpark when it's something like this. And, sometimes when you're doing more detailed things, it's one thing, but I don't know. I just feel like nobody wants to listen to me ramble for more than 10 minutes. I did do a series a year and a half ago, and it was a little bit more lengthy because I was talking about processing your pain and the things that people go through and how to scrapbook through the tough times. And those videos were a little longer because I was kind of doing like a therapy session, maybe more for myself than anything, but it was a really important and special series that I did. And I may go back to doing those occasionally because there's always things that you can talk about. But anyway, I just never would have imagined having this many people even at all interested in watching what I do. And so I really do appreciate you all. I appreciate the comments and the kind things that you all say. Just the fact, that you all watch at all, whether you're subscribers or not. I just really do appreciate you all. Like I said, March 2021, I would have never, ever, I was absolutely blown away that summer, like early summer when I hit 50 subscribers. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. And my son just kept saying, Mom, wait until you get to 1,000. And I was like, yeah, that's not happening. Like I had no inkling of that ever happening. And here I am. So I just can't even put into words how much I appreciate you all, and that you take the time out of your day, which I think is super precious, to watch me giggle and ramble on about my family and, of course, now my new grandson and dogs and children and school and sometimes socks and just random crazy things that I document. But I just really, really appreciate you all. And I hope you all know that. And I do reply to all the comments that come on my channel. And I just really do appreciate you all. I think that you all are fantastic. And I hope that I can encourage you all to scrapbook or be creative in some way. And I just hope that you all will stick around. I don't know what I'm doing in December, but we'll see. I'm sure some of it will have to do with the holidays. But I want you all to know that I truly do love you and I care about you all. And like the layout says, turn the page, because there will be another layout probably tomorrow or the next day for you all to come and see. So I hope you all have a great day. I hope you get a chance today to do something you love with someone you love, and happy scrapping.